Flying in economy is getting worse.
The business class flights are just so expensive.
Or are they?
There's one route in the world that is just long enough to warrant a double-decker Airbus A380.
But just short enough to have a price tag that is somewhat reasonable.
We found one of Emirates' shortest and cheapest business class flights.
And we're going to attempt to eat, drink and swindle more value than the cost of the plane ticket in an attempt to make a profit on our flight.
Will we manage to consume more than the price of our plane ticket? Or will we have one too many champagnes at the Mile High bar and never be allowed to fly Emirates ever again? Let's find out. Okay, we are in our hotel lobby and we are about to head to the airport.
But before we go anywhere, let's explain a few things about this flight.
So the flight that we're getting on leaves from Bangkok airport and flies for 3 hours and lands in Hong Kong. And the price that we got this ticket for is a steal.
This is one of Emirates' 5th freedom routes, but it isn't their shortest flight. Their shortest flight actually goes from Dubai to Muscat and takes 50 minutes.
We booked our plane tickets really far in advance and they cost us £279 each, one way for business class.
And our ticket also includes access to one of the world's best airport lounges before our flight even takes off.
On a normal Ryanair flight, everything costs extra. If you want a drink, if you want a panini, you've got to pay for it. But on an Emirates flight, it's all included in the price. So we're thinking, if we can eat and drink enough, in theory, we should actually come out in profit from this business class flight. And this is my first ever business class flight, so I'm extremely excited about it. But I wanted to get some advice from someone that's actually flown business more times than they've had hot dinners. So I contacted one of my friends.
If it's the A380, which I believe that route is on, you're going to be able to use the bar at the very back of the aircraft. And then, of course, request an amenity kit. They don't usually give those out on that flight, but they should have them. The same with pyjamas as well. But overall, it's going to be amazing.
Okay, our taxi is now here to pick us up and take us to the airport, which is actually our first big fail of the mission because I thought we were getting a free transfer to the airport. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Let me explain. You ready? I'll get on the other side.
Yeah.
Thanks for picking us up. So when you book a business class flight, did you think that you got a free transfer to the airport?
Yes.
So did I.
We thought that a business class flight meant that you got the free chauffeur with Emirates to the airport, but that isn't the case. It's not the case for every single route, it's only some of them, and I think that this one is a bit too short to warrant it. So we've had to get a taxi to the airport. That costs £16, but I'm not worried because I think we will easily recoup that after being in the lounge for 7 minutes. That's going to be my bet.
Of all the things that I'm excited about today, which there are many, I think the lounge might be the thing I'm most excited about because I've read about this lounge. All other lounges look insignificant in comparison to this lounge. It's enormous, but we'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get there. As we travel to the airport, it's the perfect time for me to tell you, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it?
We are mainly doing this because I want to lie down in a lay flat bed on a plane. I've wanted to do this for my whole life, ever since I was born. And today it's happening. Ryanair could never.
Okay, we've made it to the airport. All the exciting stuff starts from now because we get to go and check in at the business queue. We've never done this before.
I am also ferociously hungry. I got up early today and went to the gym to work up an appetite so that I would be very, very hungry and able to eat as much food as possible today, which has left me extremely starving. So get me to this lounge ASAP. But our second fail of the day was just around the corner.
Something funny has happened. We couldn't find the Emirates check-in anywhere, and we've just asked someone and they said it's not open yet.
There's not even anyone at the desk. It's not even like they look like they're about to open.
That's how early we have got here. We are so excited that we have got to the airport before check-in is even open. We can't even get into the lounge yet.
So it's 10:24 in the morning. Our flight takes off at 1:45. We're here 3 hours and 15 minutes early.
Which frankly isn't early enough. Like, how much longer am I going to be held here?
But luckily, just 10 minutes later, we were one of the first in the queue to check in our bags.
Hello.
Which were a little heavier than when we arrived.
It was 9.9 on the way and somehow it's jumped up. I only went shopping once. Okay, we are all checked in. That was very quick. They told us at check-in that the Emirates lounge is in the new terminal. So we have to go through security and then get on a train to the new airport lounge.
Which was definitely easier said than done. It's taken us about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to actually get to the satellite terminal in Bangkok airport, which is where the lounge is. This is eating into precious time in the lounge, which I'm a little frustrated about. And as I've already mentioned, I am very hungry. This is very tempting. Very, very tempting, but we shouldn't.
I reckon we've been walking through the airport now for about 20 minutes. They do not make this easy to find.
We checked in at 10:24. Well, that's when we got here. It's now 11:15 and we're nowhere near the lounge. This place is like a labyrinth. But just as we were about to give up and give in to the Big Mac temptation,
We found it!
come on, we found it!
Just two budget travellers flying business. Once we step foot through those doors, our lives will never be the same again.
As we entered the lounge, our mission really began. We each had to eat, drink and swindle over £287 worth of value to make a profit. And Emirates' brand new swanky airport lounge was round one. This is the life I would like and deserve and need and want. Also, there's just no one in here, which is sick. All of a sudden, my hunger has evaporated. I'm in shock. First of all, we've got this place to ourselves. It's kind of empty, which is awesome. And it's so luxurious. This is kind of better than I was expecting. This airport lounge is actually Emirates' second biggest airport lounge in the world. The only one that's bigger than this is the one in their hub airport in Dubai.
There's every kind of drink you could imagine, endless snacks, food, and it's really quiet in here.
This was also built really recently and it can seat up to 250 passengers, which is enormous. And the reason for that is because 2 Airbus A380s land here simultaneously, and so this lounge needs to accommodate for all of those passengers.
My benchmark for airport lounges is not very high. The only times I've ever been into an airport lounge is those ones that you can get at your local airport where it only costs like £10 or £15, and normally they're absolutely rammed. The last one that I was in didn't have any windows, as an example, so this is very different.
Right, first things first. Let's get a little coffee. We got a little excited. We went to the drink station, got a coffee, and then basically just ditched it and came straight to the restaurant buffet. There's a whole nother section to this lounge where it's sit-down tables where you eat, and we're already starting to rack up the value. Moet Chandon, the most famous and popular champagne brand in the world, has an exclusive deal with Emirates, so no other airline in the sky will serve Moet. Moet also own Dom Perignon, which is like a really, really expensive champagne. But Dom Perignon is actually reserved for first class passengers only. We are not allowed Dom Perignon. However, there is an exception to this rule.
If you befriend a first class passenger and they get you a glass of Dom Perignon as well, then you're drinking the most expensive champagne on board that flight.
So we need to go to the bar, find a willing first class passenger to order us a glass of Dom. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible, but we will try. So the food options are pretty good. It's a big buffet, and then there's desserts and salads and sandwiches. You've got local beer, you've got spirits, you've got champagne.
I might put that strawberry in my champagne because that's fancy.
At buffets, you just lose your mind. You get anything and everything and nothing goes together. But you know what? I've managed to be pretty selective on what I've got here. This is course number 1. We need to eat and drink a lot today if we're going to achieve our mission. So let's chow down on this and we'll speak to you in a minute. That probably won't make the cut.
The first course went down very well, so we've decided we're going to go back and get more food. One round at that buffet is not enough. There is a lot on offer.
I went and got some desserts. They look pretty good. Jade decided to get another piece of chicken. Each to their own.
It's a fancy chicken nugget. I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but I've got 5 calamine tea bags stuffed into my pocket. For this set of 5, £2 minimum.
After a few glasses of bubbly, a 3-course meal, and a lucrative side quest underway, Project Profit was on track.
Just when you think things couldn't get any better, got the United game on. Shame about the score though.
But then we were hit with a reality check. I think our flight is just pulling in. Let me try and show you. Ordinarily, I would be excited about that, and that would be really good news, but I am enjoying myself a little too much in the lounge, so the way I see it, that means we have very limited time left in here, so we need to make the most of it before we board our flight. Watch this space. Oh, today is a good day. You just missed it.
What happened?
Our flight's just arrived.
Has it? Oh, I missed it. It's because I was looking at the showers. There's Emirates towels in the bathrooms.
Airports do charge for showers, don't they?
They do actually, yeah.
If you're connecting on a long flight, you might have a shower, might, set you back a tenner. I don't know. It would be rude not to. I'm back from the shower, fresh as a daisy. When I was in the shower, it also said that you can ask for things like dental kits, shaving kits. So of course, I got myself a completely unnecessary razor kit. Value.
We were getting to the point where we had squeezed everything possible out of the Emirates Airport lounge, so we started to look forward to the flight. But we had a few concerns. There are a lot of unanswered questions about the flight that we have because it is only around 3 hours the flight, so I'm not sure whether it will be the same meal service, if the bar will be open, if you'll get the amenity kit and the pyjamas, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if, because it's such a short flight, they might skip all of that, which would then mean it'd be much more difficult to try and make a profit on the flight.
Boarding through gate number is 115.
And that is it, our flight has just been called, so we have to head to the gate. I'm sad. I'm genuinely sad to be leaving this place. But I think round 2 is going to be even better than round 1. As we left the lounge, Sawadika, Kapukam, it was fantastic, thank you. We were hit with a wave of excitement for our first ever business class flight.
I cannot explain how excited I am to actually get on this flight.
Usually, at this point in the journey, we'd be wondering if we were going to be lucky and bag 2 seats together on board our Ryanair flight. But as we joined the business class boarding line and headed upstairs on the Airbus A380,
Welcome aboard.
it was clear this was going to be a very different flying experience. We are on board the flight. Configuration of this plane is 1-2-1, which means that you can either be on your own by a window, which is probably the best seat in the house, I would say, or if you're traveling together, you can be in a couple seat in the middle. We did choose these seats online before we got on the flight quite far in advance because basically every seat on this plane in this business class section is taken. So you've got to be quick on the button if you want to get the seat you want.
But the seat is huge, it feels really big and it's quite private. You can't really see anyone else that is in the cabin other than the person who's sat here. The bed actually lies completely flat and you get a duvet and a pillow. And there's a mattress as well in the overhead, so it does turn into a proper bed.
I just don't think I'll ever be able to go back to flying in economy airfare again. I've ruined flying for myself.
You've got your own mini bar, the TV system, and there's also like a compartment that pulls down so you can put in like your laptop, anything that you might have that you want to put into storage. And then you've also got charging points as well. Already this feels worlds apart to the flights that we are used to. Did I miss anything?
Tonight, Matthew, I'm gonna be. We also have a selection of soft drinks available for us whenever we want, and they get topped up. So there's 3 bottles of water that are coming home with me right here, right now. I might hide these 3 so they top them up with another 3. Jade's still got her tea bags. Free wasabi peas. How much would you pay for those in a pub back in London? M&M's. M&M's. They're not the knockoff Audi ones either, they're originals. I want to do like an M&M rap. Lose yourself in the music, the moment you want it, you better never let it go.
Once in a lifetime, whoa.
We've been given slippers, we've got given an eye mask. I'm just eyeing up everything in the cabin. What can I take, what can't I take? So far we were doing well, even though we had a long way to go to recoup the full price of our flight. But things were about to change.
As soon as we sat down, we didn't get a moment's peace. The cabin crew bombarded us with a constant conveyor belt of freebies.
Can I get champagne, please?
Mouth-watering menus, hot towels.
I just had a shower.
And this challenge was looking like an absolute breeze until we were hit with some devastating news.
We're more or less ready up frontier, just waiting for the last few bags to be loaded. Once that's done, quite a short flight with the scale onwards, alcohol, flight time 2 hours and 5 minutes. Starting the cruise at 37,000 feet, eventually working our way up.
Something terrible has happened.
When we booked the flight, it said it was 3 hours and 5 minutes. And the captain has just come on and said, we've got a very quick flight time today, 2 hours. Which I think might be less time than we had in the lounge.
Things just got a whole lot harder.
It's like someone made the level of the game more tricky.
It's like we were playing FIFA on amateur mode and they've just switched it up to world class.
As soon as the dinger goes, we go into the bar.
Imagine if the seatbelt sign doesn't come off.
I was thinking about it, by the time we've taken off and we start our descent, that's like 45 minutes. So really we only have an hour and 15 in the air.
Considering that this is a really short flight, 2 hours and 5 minutes, they are still finding time to serve a 3-course meal.
Could I get the lasagna?
Lasagna?
I'll get the cheese selection.
Alright, sure.
Did you get the cheesecake?
I got cheesecake.
Yeah, I'll get the cheese selection.
Not only was there a food menu, but you also get given a separate wine menu and a separate cocktail menu.
Could I get a Negroni?
Negroni? Alright.
Thank you very much.
Every time we fly with Emirates, we say this, but the cabin crew on Emirates are so nice. And to be fair, they are just as nice in economy as they are in business.
We are about to take off now.
We're off.
We're taking off.
We're taxiing down the runway.
Now in the air, we thought it was about time to start ticking off some big ticket items off our list. We've also had some advice about asking for an amenity kit. They won't necessarily give you one on a flight this short, but they should have them. So if we ask for one, maybe they'll give us one. Do you have any amenity kits?
Amenity kits?
No.
It's a short flight.
It's a short flight. No problem. All right, thank you. If you don't ask, you don't get. But then, by some sort of Christmas miracle, the cabin manager came back over to our seat holding the elusive amenity kit, reserved for people that were on much longer flights than ours. And it didn't disappoint.
Shaving gel, razor. The value is pouring out of this thing. Deodorant, a comb, dental care, tissues, Bulgari shower gel, Bulgari eau de parfum, Bulgari lip balm, Bulgari body lotion. I'm gonna smell and feel $1 million after this. And also, it's Bulgari inside as well.
The seatbelt sign has just gone off. That only means one thing. It's time to go to the bar.
This is a bar with a view, probably the best view that I've ever had in a bar.
Very few bars in the world have a view of a plane wing at 38,000 feet. The other unique thing about this bar is that every seat has a seatbelt, just in case you get too rowdy, I think. But luckily the seatbelt sign isn't on right now, so we can just walk around and enjoy ourselves. And try and find someone in first class to give us a glass of Dom.
So there's two options. We could figure out who's in first class and ask them, or when they ask us what we want to drink, we just could say, 1 cold glass of Dom, please. How will they know? And they'll be like, have you got your ticket, sir? The aircraft that we're flying on today is Emirates A380, which doesn't mean much to me other than it is a double-decker aircraft. So there are 2 stories to this plane, and first class and business class are on the upper deck. So you can go downstairs to the bottom half of the plane or upstairs to this section. In the middle of this section is a wraparound bar, and it's got 2 huge sofas that people can come and sit on mid-flight and have a drink. And Emirates have this because they want this space to be really social, so they want you to meet and mingle with other passengers. It's a utopia. If this was on Ryanair though, it would be a very, very different affair.
But after lingering around in the bar for a while, it wasn't obvious who was in first class and who wasn't. So we decided to cut our losses and head back to our seat where our pre-ordered cocktails were waiting for us. The cocktails have come with warm nuts. Unfortunately, nuts don't count for anything. In a bar, you would get free nuts as standard. So there's no value attached to the nuts. There are some things on this flight that have no value whatsoever. For example, watching a movie. You can do that in economy. Wow.
Having a wee. It's a waste of time and there's no value to be taken.
Exactly. So no movies, no toilet breaks. We are going straight through.
We're raw dogging this business class flight.
But there is value attached to the Negroni. Should I give it a taste test? Oh wow. I've had to swap out the Negroni for an Aperol Spritz. So, good thing, it's another cocktail. Bad thing is that the Negroni was so strong that I feel like I wouldn't have been able to actually disembark the aircraft. If I'm too drunk to get off, do you reckon they just leave me on? That could be the ultimate life hack. Despite just stating that toilet breaks were a waste of time, Jay decided that she really needed to go. And it's a good job she did, because value is lurking around every corner on these flights.
I've just been to the bathroom and I found two very interesting items. Hand cream, and the second is up my jumper. A dental kit, freebies, adding up the value.
But after the success of the amenity kit, we had our sights set on another big ticket item.
We know that you get pyjamas on these flights normally if they're longer. But obviously we're only on this for 2 hours, so we could ask. I'm really embarrassed just thinking about it. The thing is, that was a tip from Will, so I feel like we should just ask, because it could be the difference between succeeding and failing on this mission. Hey, do you have any pyjamas? Pyjamas for sleeping?
No, flight too short.
Okay, that's no, don't worry, it's fine, thank you. No pyjamas.
The food has arrived. It looks delicious. This is the big ticket item. I've gone for a lasagna, and it's accompanied with another glass of champagne. And Jade has gone for chicken, and she's already eating it. At this point, Jade might actually turn into a chicken. You've had 2 chicken dishes in the lounge and another chicken dish on board.
It was Chinese chicken and we're heading to Hong Kong, so I had to. I genuinely do feel full from all the food we had in the lounge.
Project Profit is bigger than being full. You had to just plough through sometimes. When Russ Cook was in the middle of Africa, his legs probably hurt, and we just have to keep going. Our Emirates meals were good, but definitely not quite as good as a Ryanair panini. At this point, we were enjoying ourselves so much that time just slipped away.
I can't quite believe that I'm saying this, but we have less than an hour. It feels like we have been sat on here for 5 minutes.
It was almost time to come into land, at which point we could determine if we'd actually made a profit or not.
Thank you, bye. Thank you so much, I appreciate it, cheers. Thank you so much, cheers. We have made it to Hong Kong. The cabin crew guy that we spoke to confirmed that is the cheapest business class flight you can get with Emirates. And it is now time to tot up exactly what we consumed on that flight and see if we made a profit. What do you reckon?
Oh, it's too close to tell. I'm not sure.
The flight cost £279 per person. There was no airport transfer included, which set us back £8 each. In terms of food, getting access to the buffet in the lounge, the elevated plane food, and all of the snacks came in at £77 each. But as for drinks, this was a different story. Our main source of value came from the Moët champagne, priced at £20 per glass, and the cocktails on board the flight, priced at £15, meaning together we managed to drink our way through £315. We also managed to bag a few freebies here and there, with the jewel in the crown being the amenity kit, which is going for £40 on eBay. Of course, we also travelled from Bangkok to Hong Kong, which is value in itself, and to fly this route in economy can cost as little as £71 if booked in advance. Meaning we each paid £279 for our tickets, and Jade managed to get £308 of value from her flight, and I managed to get £368 of value from my flight, which is a total profit of £118. If you enjoyed this video, please think about subscribing and let us know if you want us to do this again.